Minimalism has become kind of a trend over the last few years, and it seems like that in the times we live in, it can be really liberating to get rid of at least some things that keep you distracted in your life. Because in the end, that's what minimalism is all about, taking away distractions to help you focus on more meaningful things. So a few weeks ago, I released a video about my minimalist filmmaking setup. And today I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into this topic of minimalist filmmaking and what this means to me. Because sometimes people are wondering how minimalism and filmmaking can actually work together, since you essentially need a bunch of equipment for making films. But let me explain this. By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tom Streller, I'm a filmmaker and minimalist, and on this channel I cover everything filmmaking related. So if you're into this, make sure to subscribe to not miss any upcoming videos. I guarantee you won't regret it. So to get this straight, being a minimalist filmmaker generally doesn't mean that you shouldn't buy any gear, but rather choose gear that adds real value to your work and therefore avoid to randomly buy new things. All the stuff you own and buy for filmmaking or creative work in general should have a real purpose, and it should add value to what you're doing. Following this thought, I try to avoid to buy stuff just because it's new or seems exciting to me. I only try to buy new things if they can really improve my work, whether it's by speeding up my workflow or increasing the overall quality of what I'm doing. I have two rules I follow when it comes to my minimalist filmmaking approach, and they help me a lot to focus and realize when I need to add something new to my setup, or whether it's just some quick buying impulse. And the first rule is to only buy things I really need. That's, for instance, the reason why I still stick with my Sony a6300, since this camera still does all the things I needed to do. Are there better cameras out there? Definitely. But with my trusty a6300, I've never been in a situation where I couldn't do something because of the camera's limitations. So I just really don't need a new camera. But on the other hand, I think about getting a small HD focus soon. Because the Sony cameras still lack a full articulated screen, and therefore they are a hassle to work with on YouTube videos. Plus the Sony screens are all just so bad in sunlight. So an external monitor would really help me in my work and therefore have real value for me. Now, some of you are probably wondering why I wouldn't go with a cheaper monitor like some Andy Cine, which you can get for around 200 bucks compared to the 700 of a small HD Sony bundle. And this is because of my second rule of being a minimalist filmmaker: only buy things that will last. In the beginning, I tended to be a little too cheap and used to buy knockoffs and cheap stuff in general, like cheap ND filters, tripods, all the stuff you need in your daily work as a filmmaker. But after having stuff break pretty often, I came to the conclusion that there's just no sense in buying cheap stuff at all. You rather want your gear to be really reliable so you can work with it for a really long time. This is why I carefully think about every investment I make nowadays and wait a pretty long time before I actually spend the money. I try to give myself enough time to evaluate whether this particular thing would add something to my workflow and therefore be worth the investment. So these are my basic rules to keep my filmmaking process easy and free from distractions. Because in this case, owning a huge amount of gear doesn't necessarily make you a better filmmaker. It might just distract you from doing your best work possible because of all the stuff you have to deal with. So keep your setup clean and easy and try to own only stuff you really need for your work. And also, if you need something new for just one project, you can always rent gear. But that's a topic for another video. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and also enjoyed this new format on the channel. I'm probably going to talk more about minimalism and how it helped me to be more productive and creative. So just give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this one. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.